Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today with us we have Fedora 43, but this is a very special version. This is not the old GNOME or KDE versions that you guys love and care about and have known for a really long time, but this rather is the all-new Cosmic Edition. Now Cosmic is still in beta. The desktop environment is in beta, but this is the release software, the public release of the Fedora 43 Cosmic Edition. So without wasting further time, we're going to talk right about this. We have a lot of things to talk about and discuss. So this is going to be more about Cosmic than about Fedora, and I hadn't really discussed Fedora Cosmic with you guys. I didn't really check out the beta version of the Cosmic UI desktop environment when it launched. So today we're going to go ahead and do a deep dive. So without wasting further time, let's dive right in. Alright, welcome to Fedora 43 with Cosmic. We're going to go ahead and try to install the hard drive. If you don't even know what the steps look like, I'm going to show it to you. Let's give it a few seconds to initialize. And we're going to try to go ahead and install the operating system. But after that, we're going to focus completely on what's new this time under the hood in Fedora and with Cosmic as a whole. Alright, now it detects I am in India because I have my Wi-Fi connected. So we're just going to go ahead, change it to English. Let's just see, English, United States, that's the default. Again, this language changed. Keyboard layout, English US. Let's click on next. Automatically set the date and time using time servers. This is cool because I have it connected to the internet. So, or you can also configure NTP servers and also automatically set the time zone. That is very cool. Now this is the new Anaconda installer for Fedora, and it's asking me where would I want to install my operating system. You can have three options. You have three options at your disposal. You could choose any one of these. You can share your operating system with another Linux. You can use the entire disk, which is wiping out your previous operating system and all your data, or you could have it mount point assignment style, which is like a pre-configured custom layout. So you can probably go to gparted, figure out your partitions and stuff, and then install your operating system. We're going to go ahead and choose the use entire disk because that's what most people do. If you want to encrypt your data, you have to have a passphrase. If you forget this, you lose everything on your computer. So if you want to have encryption enabled, be serious about remembering the passphrase. Okay, we don't want it enabled because this is just a demo. I'm not actually going to install anything on my computer today. Full name, we can give my name. We can have a username, so it automatically populates it with A Goswami. That's cool. We do have a passphrase, which is the password, at least 6 characters. So yeah, not as weak as the other operating systems, which allow 4 characters. And now once you click on next, it would tell you a final review of the things that it's going to do. So it's going to install Fedora Linux 33, the Cosmic Edition, language United States, time zone, account name, installation type, and the storage. So it's going to delete the 2 partitions that we have on the Toshiba 1 terabyte disk, and it's going to install a root partition and a boot partition, which is going to have an EFI as well. Once you understand that all the existing data will be erased, only then will it allow you to go ahead and click this button to install Fedora Cosmic. But we're not going to go ahead and do that. We're going to click on quit, and we're going to explore the operating system. Welcome to Cosmic Beta. This is a monumental leap because the team at System 76 have been working incredibly hard for more than a year, and they have come up with something which was unimaginable, to be, to say the least, because building a desktop environment from scratch is a monumental task. People from KDE, from GNOME, they have decades of experience of building and maintaining a desktop environment, but the people at System 76, they have showed everybody that they are no less. Okay, so we have a lot to talk about, but before that, we're going to talk about what's new in Fedora this time around. Okay, so under the hood, you get a few little changes. Now you do get RPM 6, you do get the new DNF 5. So this is the DNF 5 version, which is very cool. It's like a lot faster, and people have been waiting for this for a really long time. You get new versions of a lot of things. For example, Python. So Python version is 3.14, which is, I think, the latest version. And most importantly, the Linux kernel. So let's just clear it out, if I type uname -a, we do get that this is the 6.17 kernel. So it says right over here, and then this is for Fedora 43. So there you go. They also have version bumps for other software like Ruby and all the other things, GCC compiler, which developers really appreciate because Fedora likes to stay ahead of the game and gives developers an edge with providing them like with the latest stuff so that they can code and stuff. Now, this is also a very excellent general purpose operating system, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. Okay, now this is the desktop, so we do get a dock at the bottom, pretty standard stuff if you think about it, and we do have the workspaces view to the left. You can, of course, pin your workspace, or you can add workspaces. Not really sure how to do that, but then you also have applications over here. So you get Cosmic Files, Cosmic Media Player, Cosmic Settings. So all of these come under Library Home. Okay, like this, you have other categories. You have Office, so you do get the standard stuff: LibreOffice Impress, LibreOffice Writer, Ocular. Ocular is basically your image viewer. Under System, you get Fedora Media Writer because this is a Fedora system. Interestingly, you do get the GNOME system monitor because I think maybe Cosmic has not developed their own system monitor as of now. Again, let's check. I think this is the GNOME system monitor. So yeah, not a big deal. I mean, the application looks very consistent with the rest of the environment, so this is pretty fine. Again, inside system, we had these utilities. We get the Arc, Cosmic Screenshot, Calculator, Disks, Install to Hard Drive, which you're no longer going to have after you install the operating system. You can also rename each of these groups. You can delete the groups, or you can add a simple group by giving it a name. Let's just say Games, and click on and press Enter, so that you have another folder called Games. Now you can edit the name. You can say Games Part 1. That's not one, I'm sorry. So if you make a mistake, you can always edit it, or if you don't like the group anymore, you can go ahead and delete it. Okay, so that's pretty good. So after this, you get this icon in the middle. It says November 2nd, so this is the date followed by the time. This is pretty standard. And then you do get a beautiful but very minimalistic calendar. So you do get November 2nd. This is Sunday. I'm recording late at night. The time is wrong, but I'm recording late at night. And you can open date, time, and calendar settings. We're not going to do that right now, but you could if you wanted to. Now over to the right, first up, you get your language settings. So this is the English United States, along with the keyboard settings. After that, I believe this is the accessibility settings. So you can enable screen reader, magnifier, invert colors, and also turn on high contrast. And you can go to the main accessibility settings inside the settings window or application, if you will. And then, by the way, I'm not clicking on any of these. You can hover your mouse and it would open up the applet for that particular functionality or application. Now, this is the tiling applet. Okay, now if you want to enable tiling, you could do that. But first, the default behavior is that the way the windows are going to work is it's going to be floating instead of tiled. So what does this mean? You open Cosmic Files, it's over here. You open Terminal, it's over here. They are floating, handy dandy. They are not tiled. Okay, let's click over here. If you click on tiled, so let's just close these. So I guess this is going to work for a new workspace. So let's just open another workspace. So in this workspace, if you open the Cosmic Terminal, this is going to be tiled by default. Let's just open Cosmic Store. And again, this is tiled by default. So let's just go ahead and click on floating because that's what we had. Go back to our initial workspace. So this is, I mean, you can see not a whole lot of animations, by the way. This is not running on a virtual machine. This is completely on bare metal. So this is on my secondary laptop. I'm using a Game Capture Neo, which is a capture card from Elgato to capture the display over to my new laptop. And that's how I'm recording. But there aren't a whole lot of animations in Fedora Cosmic, or in Cosmic, so to speak. But the feel of the desktop is very snappy, if you get me. Okay, now you do get a cross apart from the cross over in these applications. So you do get minimize, maximize, and cross, but you also get a cross button to close your app, and then the dynamic workspace goes away. So if you have nothing, you get only one workspace. But if you open up any app, I think it automatically populates you with a second workspace, and you can pin any of those workspaces if you wanted to. You hover your mouse and you can pin this. If once you pin it, you get another workspace, you pin it, you get another one. I think if you remove the pin, the workspace disappears. Again, if you do this, the workspace disappears. Okay, so let's go back to the tiling window. And if you want to navigate windows, you can press Super plus the arrow keys. To move the windows, you can press Super Shift arrow. To toggle floating window, you can press Super plus G. And you also have the active hint enabled. Now, I do believe there are shadows. It's really hard to see shadows. I'm not really sure if there are legible shadows in Cosmic, but the way to make out if your window is the current window, what you could do is enable active hint. This is pretty good. If you want to change colors, you could do that later on in the video. I'm going to show you how to do that, but you could do that. Okay, if you want to tile your current workspace, let's just go ahead and talk about that behavior. So you open up a window. Let's just say I close this, I open up Cosmic Files. It's going to take up the entire screen. It's going to give me the hint, and as you can see, this is neatly tiled. Let's open another app. Let's say the Cosmic Terminal. Now the screen divides into two apps, and you click between each of these and it shows you which one is in focus and the other one is not. Again, if you opened another one, it opened below here. So, you get three windows. Let's just open Cosmic Store as well. So this became a smaller window, and then you do have Cosmic Store. But let's say you're not satisfied with the size, okay? You could increase or decrease the size. So this is the minimum that is allowed. This is the maximum that it's allowed. Or what you could do is you could just take it and then slowly but surely you could put it here. So for example, if you wanted it to be like a list, there you go. You do have all the apps neatly organized. And this is a 1080p display with 100% scaling. And this looks extremely legible. And I think I could comfortably work with 1, 2, 3, 4 windows open at the same time. It's not looking small. It's very legible, and I haven't changed any of the text sizes or font sizes, whatever you want to call it. So I think this is very fantastic. And again, let's just drag it over so you can put it into different sizes. You can have it side by side, top, bottom. Again, over here, the same thing applies. Or what you could do is you could stack the windows as well. Once you stack the windows, it gives you a little tabular thingy at the top, and you can change your application. So if you click on the left tab, this would be your Cosmic Files. If you click on the right tab, this is your Cosmic Store. Now, if you have a relatively small monitor and you have a lot of things to manage, this is a good way to actually keep multiple files over on your computer monitor without having everything messed up. So if you open settings, it again by default opens up in this stacked windows layout. Okay, that's pretty good. Now you can click this to completely drag this. So for example, you can have this over here as well. The possibilities are endless, as you might have guessed. Now you could also drag one of these, so you are left with home, the Cosmic Files and the Cosmic Store, and you have moved out the settings app over here. So you get settings over here, text editor down below, and then terminal over here. This is kind of hilarious. So let's just go ahead and do this. So now we do get window management properly. And by the way, one thing you might have noticed is all of the apps, they perform beautifully. They are very legible, despite the fact that they are extremely tiny relative to everything else. So that's something which is extremely good. The apps are very reactive, and they respond very well to changes in size on the home screen. So that's fantastic. Okay, just look at the this is the settings app. So if I turn off tiling, let's just go ahead and make it full screen. So you can see you have a panel to the side, and then you have everything in the middle. Let's just go ahead and drag it. Let's just increase the size, and it reacts. It doesn't have animations, it's not flashy, but this is super cool. Okay, let's turn off, let's close out these windows. Again, I am back in the normal floating window mode. So you still get these stacked windows functionality, which is pretty cool. If you close this, the window goes away and you're left with whatever else you were working with. So that is extremely handy and a beautiful way of handling windows on your computer. So I really appreciate that. Now let's move on to the audio tab. Okay, very standard stuff. You can increase or decrease your audio volume, and this is the 100% marker. You can increase it to 150%, like I already talked about. And then this is your microphone volume, pretty standard stuff. And it also mentions which device is currently being used as the output or the input, and you can change them from here. You can also show media controls on the panel, but I guess I don't have anything playing, so it's not going to come up over here, even if I enable that. Now let's move on to Bluetooth. Standard stuff. I mean, these are pretty standard applets. They look good. You can enable Bluetooth, go to Bluetooth settings, and check the other Bluetooth devices from over here. Next up is the Wi-Fi applet. Again, this is connected to my phone. Again, these are the neighbors Wi-Fi's. You can turn on you can turn on the airplane mode, and finally you can lock your computer, or you can shut down or restart. The only thing that I kind of don't like is these icons are super large and they look kind of out of place, to be very honest with you. Okay, but I mean, I'm just critiquing. It's really up to the people who made it, and I have immense respect for them. Something as small as icon sizes being a little bit too big or a little bit too small does not have any impact whatsoever on the core functionality of any operating system or application. Now that we're done with that, let's just go ahead and talk about the Cosmic Store. So this is the brand new Cosmic Store, or their very own software center. Now this may not look flashy. You see, you don't even have animations. Not even 0.5, okay? But what it is super fast. You click on any of the tabs and it just pops up. Everything populates extremely fast. You go to work, you click on X Journal. You see, it gives you everything you need. Let's maximize that. It took a second. The dock became a panel. You do get the screenshots, beautiful screenshots, and then I think if you double click or single click, nothing happens, but that's okay. These screenshots are good enough. Maybe they could add that functionality later on, but that is not a necessity or a definitive requirement. So they do have a description with features. You have a version number, a license description, bug tracker, help, and homepage to go to their original website. I think this is a fantastic way of handling your software center. I mean, it's not as flashy as GNOME Software Center, which personally is my favorite in terms of looks, but what it is lightning fast, and it shows. It's absolutely fast. And by the way, to give you guys a little bit of a context, my laptop is running a Intel Skylake processor back from 2016, I believe. So this is the i5-6200U. It's been a really long time for that processor, and it's still handling Fedora Cosmic like a champ. So kudos to that processor, and kudos to System 76. If you want to enable applets, by the way, you have to go to the Manage Repository section. So you can either click on this settings button, or you can click on this button to enable Cosmic Flatpak. Now you can either enable Cosmic Flatpak, or clicking on add for one also adds the other. So this is the generic flat hub from where you can download your Flatpaks, or this is the Cosmic dedicated Flatpak repository from where you could download, a smaller list of Flatpaks, which are curated, I believe. But if you know their developer, if you are downloading reputable apps, FlatHub is not dangerous. Now you can also enable custom Flatpak sources by importing a Flatpak repo file to a custom source, but that's a story for another day. You can close this, and you can go to applets. You can place them on the desktop. You can uninstall them. I absolutely am in love with this software center. It works fantastic. You go to any page, you click on any app, and within seconds you get the screenshot, you get the description, you get the option to install the application that you're looking for. And I think this is very, very efficient, and other teams, I mean, even somebody who prioritizes animations over functionality, other teams for other Linux systems should take a look at how efficient this software center is. So now that we're done with that, let's go ahead and open settings. I'm going to do something different. I'm not going to open settings using my mouse. I'm going to hit the super key or the Windows key, and now search comes up, and inside search you can start typing settings. So with settings, it gives me the Cosmic settings, which is the one I am looking for, but it also gives me LibreOffice Calc, users, Rhythmbox, problem reporting, notifications, VPN, and other stuff. Now, before I go to settings, I think it's lagging just a little bit, but that's fine. Again, this is a live environment. This is not installed on my computer. And again, this is also a beta operating system, or at least the environment is beta. So please take that into consideration. Now, let's just say if I do 2 + 2, it gives me 4, and I don't even have to put an equal sign before that. Let's do, so it does give me the answer. If I say weather, it gives me wallpaper, so I believe it doesn't have a weather app. Weather for Kolkata, so it's not able to give me the weather for Kolkata. That's perfectly fine. I'm just trying to test it. Type to search apps, or type question mark for more options. Okay, so if I type question mark, I can use the calculator with unit conversion. Okay, and I can also use file navigation with auto tab complete. I can use file search, recently opened document search, terminal or background commands, or a web search. So that is amazing. Let's search for settings. So we have Cosmic settings. Again, this is a beautiful looking settings page. Now, it may not be completely fleshed out because this is still in a beta. Again, I'd like to remind you guys, this is in a beta, and they, I think, are going to announce the final release somewhere in December. Okay, so within system and accounts, you do get about. So this is the device name. It says localhost live because, again, it's a live environment. This is the hardware model, memory, processor, graphics, etc., etc. Operating system is Fedora Linux 43 Cosmic, and the windowing system is Wayland. So that's amazing. Going back, users, so this is the live system user standard thing. Firmware updates, you can get them from over here. Now let's go to the top and let's check the network and wireless. By the way, if you click on this, it closes and it opens back up. Wi-Fi, wired, VPN. So clicking on Wi-Fi, it gives you the known network, and again, the other networks it could search for you. So there it is, the list of other networks. You can add a network from over there. Going back, you can also set your wired connection if you want to have an Ethernet jack plugged up into your computer. You can enable VPNs from over here as well. Going over to Bluetooth, it searches for Bluetooth devices nearby. That's pretty much it. Inside accessibility, you have screen reader, magnifier, high contrast mode, invert colors, color filter type. So if I open or enable this, everything turns grayscale. If I turn green red, so this is green weakness or deuteranopia. And I have other options as well. Protanopia, so this is red weakness, and you have blue weakness or tritanopia. So these are for people with vision disabilities, and if you are somebody who has this disability, then you can definitely use this and it will benefit you a lot. By the way, if you minimize an application, it goes into the dock and the dock expands, giving it the space to accommodate the application, and once you maximize it, it goes back out. So by default, it does not minimize into the icon, but it comes up in a separate window like macOS, like the default behavior in macOS, and you can either click this or you could click the Cosmic settings to get back your application. Inside desktop, we have wallpaper, appearance, panel, dock, window management, workspaces. Let's go through each of them one by one. Under wallpaper, I don't know why this is black, maybe because I have two displays connected. The wallpaper is the same wallpaper on all displays. This is the option which is enabled by default. Wallpaper fit is fill or fit to screen. You can change that, and you can also enable a slideshow. Let's just go ahead, change it to something else. For example, this looks pretty good. This doesn't look bad. It looks good. I think I'm going to keep this for the rest of the video. This looks good as well. And these are the Fedora ones. So this is the light theme. The wallpaper for the light theme, again, fit to screen. I'm going to change it to fill. So there you go. And I think the one beside it is the one for dark mode. It's a little bit muted. As you can see, the colors are a little bit muted, but this looks pretty good as well. Let's change it to this. And I think this looks fantastic. I think we're going to keep this for the rest of the video. Now, moving back from desktop, from wallpaper to appearance. Again, over here, you have dark mode and light mode, and within each mode, you have a variety of colors. You can add colors as well. Let's just go ahead and change these. As you can see, not only do the accent colors change, but you also get a change in the border. That's your active hint. If you open something like Cosmic Files, I believe you will also see subtle changes all over your desktop where the colors are. Now, let's click on purple. This is another pink, I guess lighter pink, yellow. This looks good. This is lemon yellow. I believe this is, again, a lighter shade of green. This is grayscale, or gray rather. Let's just go with light yellow. I think this looks pretty good. But now let's move on to the light theme. I think light theme looks good as well. Sorry if I'm blinding you guys. If you have your brightness set to very high, the dock turned bright white, the settings page is bright white, and the colors, they are completely changed. So now you get darker colors to match with your light theme. So if you open Cosmic Files, as you can see, these are darker colors and not as light as they were when you were in the dark mode. Let's just go ahead with this color, and I think we're gonna stick to dark mode because that looks the best, honestly. Now you can also change the application or window background. This is black. You can change it to anything. Let's just say a blackish tint of red. So there you go. You can mess up with your system any way you like, and it would look fantastic. So there you go. Yeah, this is green yellowish. This is greenish. This is bluish. Oh my god, I think this looks pretty good. Let's just give it a darker shade of blue, and I think this looks absolutely rad. That's fire, man. That's amazing. This is amazing. Okay, you can change it from hex to RGB, but that's okay. And you also get a list of recent colors and a very important button. If you mess anything, you can always reset. You can close this, and I think I'm going to keep this color. Container background, the primary container color, is used for navigation color, sidebar, side drawer, dialogues, and similar widgets. So this is on auto. You can change it, or finally, if you are done, you can reset it to auto as well. Now you get the interface text hint. Color used to derive the interface text colors that have sufficient contrast on various surfaces. White by default. I think white by default is a pretty good choice. We're not going to mess with that. Control component tint. This is used for backgrounds of standard buttons, search inputs, text inputs, and similar components. Gray is a fine color, and you can also use your theme accent color as the active window hint, or you could decouple them, in which case you would get to choose your own color. We're not going to do that. We are going to have this enabled, and below you get style. So in style, there are basically 3 modes, and each of them is a little bit less round than the other. So the default one is where everything is a little bit more roundish. Now, if you click this, it lessens things up just a little bit, and if you make it square, I think what I'll do is I'll stop the active hint. It's going to make it a little bit more clearer. Okay, so this is what square looks like. This is what slightly round looks like. If you don't know where to look at the corners and you will be able to see. Also, look at these buttons. Okay, see, round, the buttons are round, the toggles are round, the buttons are round, the corners are round, slightly round. It changes the circumference, I guess, or the radius of the circles. I think the radius of the circles, and you get a different corner, and square is pretty much square-ish. I think we're gonna stick to round, and this looks pretty good. Let's just turn back on active hint, and we're good to go. Now, for the interface density, we do get compact. So again, in compact, as you can see, everything is just bundled up together. If you have lesser space on your monitor, if your monitor is small, I guess you could turn this on, but really I wouldn't recommend it unless you are going for it, in which case do as you please. For me, the default comfortable look is, I think, the best, and you can also change it to spacious. I guess if your eyes are weaker, or if you just prefer a little bit more spacious, I guess, layout, then this is perfectly fine for you. Now you also get window management, so you do get the active window hint size. This is 3 by default. If you see, this is increasing the thickness or decreasing the thickness, so we can set it to 3, which is the default. And you also get gaps around tiled windows. So if I enable tiling mode, if I open up anything else, so this is the gap between tiled windows. Okay, if I increase this, as you can see, the gap starts to become more and more. But if I go ahead and reduce this, the gaps just shrink. And I think 3 is fine, or maybe, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 10 is fine. You have a gap, you have a hint, and you also, I mean, not a whole lot of space is wasted, but you do get a nice separation between the two windows as well. Let's turn this off and go back. Okay, you also get system fonts. So system font, monospace font, icons and toolkit theming, everything which you might want to look for. You have Cosmic, you have Pop, so it changes the icons. You have Breeze. Breeze is from KDE Plasma, so I guess the inner folder icons change, so that's pretty good. Let's just put it here, put this over there, and we can change. So there you go. This is Breeze, this is Breeze Dark. I guess everything looks neat and clean. Let's just keep it at Breeze. I think I love Breeze. Again, your minimize, maximize buttons do change as well. So you can see they are changing with the different theming options. Let's go to the panel. So you can automatically hide the panel. Okay, so I guess once you maximize this, the panel goes away. Bring it back and the panel comes back up. We are going to disable that. Position on screen is at the top. You can change it to be at the bottom, which would be weird, but again, it does follow your instructions. And below the dock, you get a panel, which is hilarious, but you could actually do that if you wanted to. Let's bring it back to the top, and it would show on all displays or whichever display you would want to. Next comes the style. So the gap between panel and screen edges. See, if you enable that, you get a floating panel at the top, which looks cool, by the way. But if you don't want that, if you close it, and it just becomes a normal panel attached to the top from a floating panel. You can extend the panel to the screen edges. If you disable this, it becomes small. And if you also enable this, I think it becomes a little pill, which doesn't look bad. It looks cool if you want to set up your computer that way. So this might not look like GNOME or KDE, but what I can assure you is this is highly customizable to the way you want your computer. So I guess you could see the power in Cosmic that it already has. I guess I'm going to enable this and disable that. And the appearance is it's set to match desktop, or you can change it to light mode if you really wanted to and pierce your eyes, or go back to dark mode, which is the normal. Size, you can increase the size. So there you go. This is very, very large. And it also changes the icon, so that's pretty good. I think I'm gonna bring it back to where it was. And you can also change the background opacity. So this is completely transparent. I guess if you put it at something like 50%, it does give you a nice, it's not blurred, but it's just a little bit transparent. See the icon? It's behind the workspace button, and you can't even change the position of that. So, and you can also configure the panel applets, so you can change the start segment, the center segment, the end segment. So everything is an applet, which is beautifully controlled. If you want to delete the app library button, there you go. The applications button is gone. If you want to remove the workspaces button, it's gone too. It takes a second to reload the entire panel, but that's okay. The functionality is there, and I really, really like it. You can also drag and drop, so maybe notification center. So that brought it up. Let's just put the input sources at the bottom. And as you can see, US went to the penultimate place before user session shut down or whatever. That's amazing. You can also add applets from over here. You can add the app tray, maximized windows or minimized windows rather, numbered workspaces, app library button, launcher button, workspaces button, etc., etc. Beyond panel, let's go back to desktop, and then you also get a completely very customizable page for dock. So this is the enable dock. If you disable the dock, I mean, it's gone. Not really anything to talk about, but let's just keep it enabled and see what we have. Automatically hide the dock. Again, you bring a window and I guess it would dodge it. Or maybe if you full screen, the dock goes away. There you go. And if you just do this, the dock reappears. Position on the screen, again, bottom, show it on all displays, or the display that you do like. You can also enable gap between dock and screen edges, so you get a floating dock, which in my opinion looks a little bit more symmetric. And you can also enable the dock to extend to both sides of the screen, which is like a panel, but it does not touch the sides of the screen. So this looks pretty good. Again, if you remember, you can change the styling of the operating system from rounded to square-ish for things to look a little bit different appearance. You can match it with the desktop, or you can change it to light mode, and I think it looks pretty good. Let's change it back to dark mode, and you can change the size, you can change the background opacity. So there you go. This becomes I guess 70% transparent or opaque, and you can change the size as well. It doesn't just directly change the size, it takes a second to reload the application. And there you go, we get a much bigger dock right now. You can also configure the dock applets. You can change their placement. So for example, if you want the launcher button in the start segment, so like Windows where start button is to the left, and then, I don't know, minimized windows to the right. Let's just pull it down to end segment. So we have the launcher to the left. If you minimize, it's going to go to the right. So you can configure your computer display to whatever you want to. This is incredibly configurable. And at the end, you can reset it to default settings and you get back whatever you had at the beginning. I think this is very handy for if you ever mess up your operating system where you don't really like where you're going with, it doesn't match your vision. What you could do is you could just go ahead and reset it to default and everything goes back to being normal again. Next up, we have window management. Super key opens up the launcher, or you can open workspaces, applications, or you can completely disable that if you wanted to. You have active window hint, maximize button, minimize button. You can disable or enable these according to your liking. And you do also get focus navigation. So focus follows cursor. After window management, we have workspaces. So workspaces span displays, or displays have separate workspaces. I think the default makes a little bit more sense. And also the workspaces orientation is vertical or horizontal. I guess if it's vertical, this is it. So you're gonna have to swipe up or down with 4 fingers and you would get that. If you are in horizontal mode, you swipe left or right with 4 fingers and you get the different workspaces. Let's go to displays. You get resolution, refresh rate, scaling. Now, scaling is interesting because you get everything from 50, 7500 to 25. So you get 25% increments. You have fractional scaling support. So this is going to be incredibly helpful for high DPI monitors. And you also get additional scaling factors at 5% increments. Okay, this may be jarring for a lot of you guys, but this is just for a demonstration purpose. I'm sorry if this irritated a few of you in my audience. Orientation is standard. You can rotate it. Of course, we're not going to do that. And we have disabled the internal display of the laptop so that I only have the Game Capture Neo over here. Let's move on to sound. I think we already talked about sound, power and battery. Again, this is standard stuff. You can put it to extended battery life, balanced, which is what it is set to by default, and I have changed it to high performance because I think every bit of juice helps my old laptop, so that's that. And you can also turn off the screen after 15 minutes, or you can change this. And you do also get power saving options. So these are standard, but just imagine what it's going to be like to develop a new desktop environment from scratch. It's almost unimaginable, and these guys, they have done it. Input devices, keyboard, mouse, touchpad, standard stuff. You do get primary button left and right. And by the way, when I say standard stuff, please don't underestimate the amount of hard work that has gone in to making each and every cog in the wheel work. This is incredible, okay? You have touchpad acceleration, disable while typing, click behavior, different things, tap to click, scrolling with 2 fingers, natural scrolling is disabled, of course, I like that being disabled. 4-finger swipe to the left and right would switch the workspaces. So let's just go ahead and do that. 4-finger, okay, this is a swipe. Moving on to applications, you have default applications. So for web browser, file manager, mail client, you can pick and choose your default applications. For startup applications, you can choose to have any app added to your list of startup applications so that, I mean, you know, if you have something which you need at startup, you can add it right over here. Close this panel. I love how a panel comes up to the right and shows you everything you need to know. This, I think, is very, very handy. I'll have to close this, go back to applications, and you also can enable X11 applications compatibility because this comes with Wayland out of the box, and this is very interesting. So it has global shortcuts in X11 applications. Global shortcuts allow keystrokes and mouse button events performed in applications to be recognized by other applications for features like push to talk or push to mute. By default, it is disabled in X11 applications to ensure other applications can monitor for keyboard or mouse events containing sensitive information. By default, it's set to no keys. You can change it to include the modifiers or all the other keys while modifiers are pressed, all the keys, or even the mouse button events in X11 applications. As for application scaling, which is even more important, this can include some settings. So first up is the optimize for gaming and full screen apps, optimize for applications. So this is games and full screen X11 apps may not match your display resolution, and maximum compatibility mode, which is enabled out of the box, which enables or ensures X11 apps to be the most compatible. It may be a little bit blurry, but the compatibility is going to be on point, I believe. Now you get preferred display. This is the only display because I have this enabled right now. So this is what comes up on my computer screen. As for time and language, for date and time, this is set out of the box. My time zone is not UTC. Let's just search with Asia, Kolkata. If I click on that, it gives me the correct time, which is almost 2 a.m. and I have to go to work tomorrow. So by default, 24 hours is disabled. You can enable that, of course. I don't like it. Show seconds. There you go. You have seconds over at the top, and show the date in the time applets. If you close this, it's not going to show the date. If you enable this, it's going to show the date. I'm not going to enable seconds. That's okay. And let's go back to region and language. So this is what it is. Formatting. This is the formatting. It took a few seconds to load. That's okay. This is a beta. English United States. Date 4th of July. This is just a formatting, not the actual date. And if you click on region, I believe you can change this. Let's just say India, Republic of India. So I get Bhojpuri, Bangla, Assamese, Republic of India, English, and then close this and it would change the format. I think that's it for settings. Okay, next up, we can talk about a little bit of the applications. So let's click on applications. We do have Cosmic Files. So, I mean, each of these applications is a genius application in and of itself. They have everything sorted out within such a short time. It's really incredible with file, edit, view, sort, all that good stuff. I mean, reviewing a complete desktop environment, it's going to take so much amount of time. I can't believe the effort that just went into it. So, I mean, if this video is going a little bit too long, please forgive me. You can skip around, watch whatever you like, but this is a fantastic endeavor that really, really needs its own time. This is their own Cosmic Terminal. See everything they have made from scratch of their own, and I truly, truly appreciate whatever it is that they have done with this operating system. This is a fantastic app. This is a editor, and I believe it's at 0.1.0. So this is, again, this is a beta. closing this, we can type normally. There is a good boy who is me. Oops. File, edit, view. Standard stuff. I mean, saying standard stuff is so easy when everything is so complicated when you have to start from scratch. Okay, so I think we more or less covered the entire operating system, and there is not a whole lot left to talk about. So I think with that, we come to the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.